Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. We've already reached 11. What? That is crazy. So a couple apologies are due. One for red face, super Irish girl. It's just gonna happen. It's been a minute. 2, and then 3, voice. There's a lot happening. It's a dysfunction is just happening all around. But today, I really wanted to jump on here and definitely put a video out here and get back into the swing of things, into the schedule of uploading videos and just giving content to you guys that is like relevant, I guess. It's not even that, but just I feel like God put so much on my heart to put out to you guys. But then I notice for myself, if I'm not communicating with you guys, or if I'm not teaching or mentoring, like I don't necessarily do okay, if that makes sense. It's like a weird added accountability for me. But yeah, I wasn't really sure what I felt like the Lord wanted me to talk about, but then also my own anxieties of like, well, the last time I was on here, everything was, in a very different place. My dad was still alive. But then also I have had the passing of my father, and how do I honor that and acknowledge that? And so today what I want to talk about is when distraction turns to avoidance. And it totally relates to where I'm at with my dad, and just I feel like this is like a timeless topic that like I truly need to really meditate on all of the time. And I'm sorry my eyes are like dotting. I probably look hyperactive right now. I chose to park in a area where I am in the center field of this old softball field that I used to play at, just to kind of honor my dad, because that's where he was required to sit during all of my games. And then I'm sure you're like, wait a second, it is 9:30 on a Friday. Why aren't you working? And I'm going to totally touch on that in this video. So, when distraction turns into avoidance, right? So, I got the beautiful, amazing honor of spending the week before my father's passing with my whole entire family, with my dad, totally engulfed in the grieving process and totally engulfed in a very supportive, flourishing community and environment. And then when he passed, same thing. We had probably over 1,000, maybe 2,000 people come to his viewing, and then over a mile long car thing for his actual funeral. There were plenty of people and plenty of areas where I could fall apart, and it was safe and it was great. And even Kyle and I grew in a very new way because I was just in such a raw spot. Well, life goes on, right? And so I went back to work on the following Tuesday and instantly jumped back into like normal life, like, mom life. I was like a single mom. Like, I'm not technically single, but I am fully responsible for Judah. So therefore, you don't just get that time to fall apart. And then I'm an employee. I have responsibilities that I have to show up to every day. And so it was very easy to just get distracted, and very easy to just go back into life as normal and go back into our schedule. And it was also very important for me to put Judah back on his schedule, because I have an amazing friend that took Judah for a week when I went to Colorado. And then I went to Colorado, Papa died, his preschool teacher left, and all of that happening at one time. Like, it's very important for him to go back. So I instantly jumped into mom identity and life distraction, and didn't really honor the grieving process. And it just kind of locked down. So I started getting returns at my job. My job is to ship boxes and whatever. And these are like really important forms. Like, these are HEAP, heating and electric assistant programs. So like, it's really important that they get there in a timely fashion and they're right. And nope. I was getting like 4 or 5 return orders like a day for the past 3 days. And I was like, this is not me. Like, I'm a perfectionist at what I do, like what is happening. And then even I noticed there was a total that these people wanted 45,000 pieces. I thought it said 4,500. Like looked at it, double checked it, like calculated it, wrote it down, and my boss was staring at me like, Tanya, do you not see that? And I was like, what? Like totally just spacing out. And then I started noticing for like 3 days, I just really had like this ongoing panic attack, like this dread, like, oh, this dread that like not anything bad was going to happen, just anything that wasn't good enough, that I'm not making enough money. Like clearly that's not true. I get my nails done. I have a Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Like I'm not poor by any means, but just wanting to progress as a mother and as a person. And like, oh my goodness. And even Kyle in his like sweetness and love last night was like, Tanya, like, are you okay? Like the past 3 days, like you haven't really been yourself. Like things haven't been so good for you. And I know this, but that kind of brings me to the topic is I really believe that my distraction turned into avoidance. And in my avoidance, everything is getting bottled up. And my anxiety is my body's way of saying, red flag, something's not right, like you need to fix this. And a while ago, I posted a picture of how anxiety manifests itself. Maybe it was like my second to last picture. And I had every single symptom. And here I am talking on YouTube, posting pictures on Instagram, sponsoring people, mentoring people about how to deal with anxiety, depression. And like I myself am like absolutely not even trying to deal with it whatsoever. And my body was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Like you have to deal with this. And like last night I was talking to Kyle and I finally like said this, and it's such an aggressive way to say it, but I was like, my dad's dead. And just saying it, I like wept in his chest for like 10 minutes. And like, even those 10 minutes of really just facing it, like unloaded so much negative emotion that needed to come out. And so then today I called into work for like a mental health day, which is not a bad thing to do when you are being responsible about it, when your boss is aware. Be wise, but self-care is so necessary. And so Judah is in a safe place. His schedule is normal, and I'm going to take off to Vermont for a couple hours and just be alone with the Lord and really acknowledge and honor my father's passing. Not only to honor my dad, but like myself. Like I need this. Like absolutely. Is Kyle negatively being affected? Without doubt. Is Judah? Absolutely. And clearly my work is as well, but like I don't like how I feel right now. And so I am making this video because I've told you guys several times that like there are areas that I will come from victory, like drug addiction. Like I have over 8 years clean. Like I can without certain tell you that I'm not going to use. Like I know my triggers. I know what to deal with. I know that I'm truly healed from that. I know that. But like anxiety and depression is one of those things that like I very much still struggle with. And like, sorry guys, it is what it is. But like my period's due in 2 weeks. And I know this part of my cycle is going to affect me. I know my sleep can affect me. I know certain candy and certain food can affect me. Traumatic events and change. Hello. That's like crazy obvious that that's going to happen. But then it's also just saying like, I'm here, I'm raw, I'm with you. You are not alone. If there are some of you out there that are saying, I don't even know who to talk to. This is mortifying. I don't want to be the girl who habitually has an issue. Do it. You are worth it. You are so worth every second. And I can tell you that because someone said that to me on Tuesday. I go to Celebrate Recovery, which it's, yeah, there you go. At Grace Fellowship. You should come and join us. But I walked up and I was like, gosh, I don't want to do this again. Like I'm having another panic day. I had another flat tire. Like, is it ever going to be somebody else's turn. And they were like, Tanya, are we all not in the same meeting? Like, are we all not here with you? Like, if you're surrounded by real, authentic Christians, and you're surrounded by people who are in the pits of fire with you, and who are really dealing with life with you, and you're not alone, and coming from someone who preaches this stuff, I still struggle, and it's okay. Like, I'm not less than, I'm not broken. I mean, I am totally broken, but like, I'm not incapable. I'm not invaluable. I don't deserve less. I don't deserve to lose leadership, which is one of the lies the enemy tries to tell me. I mean, let me pause on that one. Obviously, like, if this anxiety keeps going, it might be wise to look at it from a different perspective and say, maybe I should take a break because I'm overwhelmed. But it's not because I'm a terrible person because I have anxiety. You know what I mean? So I know that the enemy and anxiety and depression and eating disorders and addictions just want you to be isolated. And like, I can tell you from experience, it's written in scripture. I'm sure there's like all sorts of scientific proof and psychology behind it. Bring it into the light. As soon as you like face it head on, it like loses its power. As soon as you say it out loud, it loses its power. Like, I remember, I probably have said this in one of my other videos, like, every time I had an anxiety day, I spent so much time figuring out how I could fix it and not be anxious anymore. And the more I did that, obviously, the more anxious I became. And then finally I looked at it, I was like, you're anxious. You have anxiety. You are diagnosed with anxiety. Take medication. Like, stop, like, fighting it. And once I did that, it was like, oh, okay. And now, like, anxiety, which was once this huge, like, incontrollable, and maybe that's the word, now has become this, like, inconvenience where it's like, today, yeah, it's a little more than it usually is, but it's undealt with stuff. Is now like, I know once I go to Vermont and cry for 3 hours, I'm going to come back and be like normal Tanya again. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm praying for you guys, and I really hope this gives you wisdom. I hope that it gives you encouragement. I always appreciate the love that you guys send to me, but I do want to reassure you I am okay. I do have mentors. I do have support. I'm not going to go lose my mind. I'm not going to quit my job or anything. Like, I'm in a really good, safe space. Just today is one of those days where it's a little worse than usual. So, and that's, I guess, part of the recovery healing process is admitting when it's bad, you know? It's okay. And I talk about it all the time, and like, that's so crazy that those words just came out of my mouth. That Juggling the Jenkins girl just posted a video that was like, I'm depressed today. And like, that's okay. Like, I'm struggling, but like, I have a therapist. I have this, I have that. Like, I'm okay, but I need to admit that I'm struggling today. And like, very much what I'm trying to say to you guys. So I love you guys. I'm so praying for you. Feel free to share this video with someone if you feel that they could use it. It's never about the numbers. It's never about the subscribers, but I guess it's just always the area of influence. I just want to make sure that these videos are getting into the hands of the people that need them. And even if not, I like feel like sometimes I preach to myself and I'm like, Tanya, like, no one else needed that video but you, girl. So I love you guys, and I'm praying for you. I'll talk to you soon.